Hello everyone. Today our problem is solve for y when we have 2x squared plus y times 2y squared, where 2y squared is to the power of 2 plus 6x plus x to the power of negative 1 minus 1 equals 0. And our task is to solve for y. Well, what's the first step, you might ask? The first step is to work with y. We want to see what y is, but we want to simplify the y. So we will have y, y times 2y squared, where 2y squared is squared. And so what do you do here? Well, remember our memory game. We have something like written on this form right here. We distribute the y to the a, where a is a constant, and to the x to the power of n. So we'll get a to the y and x to the n times y. Right here. A to the y times x to the ny. That's what we get after distributing the y. And if we have something written like this, x to the n times x to the y, since there's the same base, since we have x as the base, we can just add the exponents. Simple. We just add the exponents in that case. So that will be helpful. The memory game will be helpful. So we're back here. 2 to the y squared is just 2 to the y squared times 2 to the y squared. You can look at it that way. And so we have that, we know there will be 4, because you're multiplying 2 times y squared times y squared, which will be y to the 4th. And remember, we have the y up front, so it's y times 4 to the y 4. And using we can, if the memory game is not direct to you, as written right here, we can just rewrite this as 4 to the y 4 times y right here. That's probably an easier way to look at our memory game, but we would just add the exponents since our base y is the same. We have y times to the 4 plus 1, which is 4 to the y 5th, right there. That's our y. And so when we bring back our problem, we'll just have this. You see how it looks less clumpy? You can see how, compared to our problem, what we have right here is probably friendlier to look at, since we don't have this going on right there. We don't have that going on for right now. And now that we have this left, what do? Well, I want to keep the y positive just for my preference, so we'll just bring down everything else. We will have 4 to the y, 4 times y to the 5th power, and then bring down the 2, bring it to the other side, bring the 6x to the other side, bring the x to the negative 1 to the other side, and bring negative 1 to the other side. You can also, I can just write it down here. We're basically just isolating the y. You want to look at it that way. So we're stuck with this for right now. And so what do? Do we raise this to the 1/5 power to get rid of the y to the 5? Or should we divide by 4? What do you all believe I should do next? If y'all said to divide by 4, yeah, I'll definitely do that before I'm trying to cancel out the exponent. And so what we have here, once you divide by 4, is just y to the 5th equals this mess right here. Yeah. We have the y completely isolated. Well, not yet, since we have the exponent, but we don't have to worry about carrying our other terms to the other side of the equal sign, or dividing, multiplying, adding. We will have nothing to disturb the y yet. This will just leaves us with the last step, trying to get rid of this exponent. We have to get rid of it to completely isolate y. And so what do we do? Memory gain. We have to isolate y to the n. We can just say to isolate or get cancel exponent. Yeah, use cancel. We can just manipulate and have we have to get something like this. We wanna cancel out the exponent so we can just be left with y. And so what do we do, you may ask? Well, since we know that we have y to the 5th, we just need to multiply to the you need to multiply y to the 5th. In our exponent, we have to multiply times 1/5, so we can just get rid of y. And so, since we have y5 equals negative 2x squared minus 6x, oh, sorry, right here. Yeah, since we have negative y5 equals negative 2x squared minus 6x minus x to the negative 1 plus 1 over 4, we can just take this to the 1/5 power like this. We take everything to the 1/5 power, everything. And so what happens when you do that? Like, based on our memory game, what we will do or get is right here, cancel. We will get the exponent canceled. And so that means that we will be left with y to the 5th, right here, look, right here. Y to the 5th equals negative 2x squared minus 6x. I would like to bring this negative exponents and flip it like we have known so far. Positive right here, so we will just dot minus 1x plus 1 over 4 1/5. So yeah, this should be a final answer. Wait, no, that's 1. Let me just rewrite this into a more beautiful page. And so our final answer, now with the exponents canceled, will be y equals negative 2x squared minus 6 minus 1x plus 1, 4. all divided by 4. That it will be our final answer. I personally wouldn't mind if you keep it like y equals negative 2x squared minus 6x and just leave the negative exponent. Personally wouldn't mind, but I know that's usually preferred to have positive exponents. That's usually the preference. But any of these will work. Any will work. So you can keep it either way, but I'll just personally use the top just to have a positive exponents. Nothing can be done further to simplify, so this is the final answer. Yeah, nothing can be simplified any further. And so thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful.